Well, we have made it. If that doesn't tell you what we're going to be doing today, I don't know what will. I'm super excited. I've never been to Volvo, but I am here now. Let's get this day going. Everybody, so we are out here on a hosted Volvo experience day, if you will. You can see I've got some wheel loaders behind me, and I have Eric, the professional, that is going to walk us through some details of these machines. All right, Eric, so what are we going to be doing today, sir?
Yeah, we're going to talk about these three different models we have here today, the L150, L180 and the L220. They look very, very similar, but they aren't, because there's major differences between each of the models.
Okay.
Horsepower is a big difference, and engine torque, and then of course bucket volume is the biggest.
Let's go look at that. So as you guys heard him say, you've got different engine sizes and torques, but the most common difference that the general person such as myself is going to notice with a 150 versus this machine on the end is the capacity of the buckets. So what is the capacity of the 150?
Here we have a 6.5 cubic yard bucket on the 150. On the L180 we have 7 3/4 cubic yard buckets, and it's actually spade nose rehandling bucket.
Okay, so then we've got different types of buckets. Correct. These are the straight cutting edges here.
Correct.
And then that one is the different bucket, the spade bucket.
And then we have an 8.2 cubic yard on the L220H. So it's really a matter of matching the machine and the bucket volume to a particular application. Okay. So you really want to reduce or minimize the number of passes you need to fill a truck, as an example.
Efficiency.
Yes.
Efficiency. So what are we going to be doing with these wheel loaders today?
Well, we're going to take you in and get you to test some new features we have. We've done a lot of updates on the Co-Pilot. I'm not sure if you're aware of the Co-Pilot.
This will be the first time I've ever been in a Volvo wheel loader.
Oh, well, you have
brand new stuff.
You have a lot to learn today. I don't know if we have enough time.
We have plenty of time. I'm a quick learner.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, we have a Co-Pilot, which is our secondary display, and inside that we have scales, we have tire pressure monitoring, we have a weather app, we have a calculator, and we also have operator coaching. So we have basic and advanced. These machines are equipped with advanced, which is really quite good, because at the end of the shift you can see your whole efficiency, what you've produced, how much fuel you burned, how much time you spent in load and carry application.
So you get a matrix.
Yes.
That allows you to have some hard facts to go off of as to how efficient you were for the day.
Yes.
Well, instead of talking about it, let's get in here and do some fun stuff. What do you say?
Let's try the 180 first.
Let's try the 180 first.
Now this one,
so you are literally going to hand me the keys to this brand new wheel loader, aren't you?
I am, but
do you realize how scary this is for you? It should be.
We have insurance. We're covered.
So they have a key option that actually unlocks the door and will automatically open it.
Yep.
Push it twice. You don't have to touch a handle, so your 3-point attachment when climbing into a piece of equipment is almost guaranteed now, because
Correct.
You don't have to grab the handle and hold a camera.
Yes.
And do multiple things. So
but you don't also need a key, because we also have a button here. So you can also achieve the same by pushing the button on the side here, and that opens the door as well. So
like typical operators, if you lose your key, yes, you can still get in the machine.
Correct.
But you also have the manual button. So actually there's 3 ways of entering this machine.
Correct.
Well, let's hop in there.
Okay. So here's the keys.
Okay.
I made it nice and warm in here.
I feel that. It is warm, and you know, I'm so new to this, I don't even know where the key slot is. Wow. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in here. We have a steering wheel. I know what to do with this.
And then we have this, if you want to use joystick steering, we have this one here.
Okay. Options, options. Sometimes too many options is a bad thing.
The good thing is we have operator coaching here, so if you don't know what these switches do, we'll just bring in operator coaching here. And then you'll see that now you have the ability to actually see what each of these switches do. Press the switch on the post, any of those. Tells you what that does.
Transmission lockup function, which I assumed since it had a lock on it and a gear, but I didn't know what it was locking.
Transmission. So we have, so you can either press the arrow and go through every single switch. So it's not that you have to sit there with the operator's manual and read it, although you should.
Right.
You should at least read the safety section.
Inside the cab, you don't have to get paper cuts. You can do a touch screen and it will tell you what everything means.
And then we also have different features in here, like you can see here, every time you start up, it'll tell you what you've done good, what you've done, what you need to improve, and that. And then if you scroll down here, so if you wanted it, because we have backup coaching, so if you're not doing something right, this co-pilot will tell you, hey, you need to do this to improve your efficiencies. But if you want to know more about it, if you were to hit this as an example, Eco Pedal, it comes up with a QR code.
You can scan it with your phone, huh?
You scan it with your phone. Right. And then basically go in, and it will give you the YouTube video that we have placed out there on YouTube, showing you how you can use or what the benefits of this is. You see my
right there, operating coaching tip, Eco Pedal
The accelerator pedal is located on the floor to the right.
So we really try to make it easy because we
user friendly.
There are a lot of operators that are old school that are sort of like a bit scared when they get into machines.
Yeah, because there's not a cable and a lever here.
Now we make it easy because we make it easy to access information. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in there.
Which can also be overwhelming at the same time for someone, you know, for me, obviously I'm pretty confident that this thing is set up like a car, and I've got a throttle and I've got brakes, right?
Yes.
I have a steering wheel.
Yes.
So there's a lot of commonalities in this piece of equipment that allows you to at least have a general idea of how to make it move, right? Yes. When it comes to the actual efficiencies and the best way to operate it, that's where that coaching system comes in handy.
Exactly.
So we're gonna get our feet wet here. We're gonna just jump right in and we're going to see what happens. What I like to do when I get into a piece of equipment, it's no different when I get into a piece of equipment with Dirt Perfect. I like to start looking at the symbols. Typically, I don't look at much of this because a lot of these things are auxiliary functions. So what I look for is, how do I go forward? How do I go backwards? Is the throttle and braking systems in the normal places? Here I see that they are. And then I start to look for bucket features, because I'm not ready for the machine to move yet, but I kind of see here that we've got some actions that show a bucket, right? Just for the general person who doesn't do this a lot, such as myself, if someone says, hey, go get in that thing and get a scoop of rock, use the lever on the right. Well, I got to find that proper lever on the right, and it looks as though we've got bucket down, bucket up, and then this one is a dump, curl out, curl in feature. And I'm really not concerned about this lock feature, and I'm, you know, the horn, okay, yep, we found the horn. And what it comes down to is, for me, I kind of just start pushing buttons. And the first button we're going to push is, it is definitely warm in here. You did a very good job making it warm in here. But we're going to find a spot for the camera, so hopefully you guys can maybe see a view or something to where you can kind of see me fumbling through this.
Pull it up now, you can extend it out as well.
Gotcha.
And then you can tilt it in, tilt it out, whatever you want to.
Okay. Hopefully you guys have a good view over there. We're going to start pushing buttons and probably go scoop some rock or something. E-brake is on. Yes. I'm not wanting to move just yet, so we're going to try to figure out some bucket features here. And what I had assumed is correct.
Yeah. And you can if you dump the bucket, you just pull the bucket back, lever back, and then it'll go back to a level position or return to peak. So if you want to dump, just dump up there now, say as an example. Now just slap that lever back to the end stroke. Slap it like that.
And let it go.
Let it go. Now it comes that. And then if you push forward and let it go hard all the way down, now this one, it'll go back to that return to dig position there as well. And
Okay.
all of those are adjustable by the switches on the A-post there.
Gotcha. All right, well, we have a general understanding of, and honestly, you know, a lot of things are going to joystick now.
Yes.
I can see where in a wheel loader, using your fingertips would probably be a little bit more efficient. Because basically, here's what I'm doing to work that bucket. Now, I haven't put it in any material yet, but it seems really user-friendly as to, you know, for a person who has ran a wheel loader, just not a Volvo wheel loader, and nothing of this size, that flat piece on top of that bucket is typically what aligns you with the bottom of the bucket, right? So that's how you, if it's tilted down, you're gonna dig. If it's tilted up, you're not gonna dig. If it's level, you're going to scoop level, for example. So let's get this thing moving.
Yep. Seat belt.
Oh yeah, that's number one, seat belt. Safety first.
So you see it's orange, so you can see, but if you look, I don't know if you can see that light flashing in the glass up there?
Yes, the green light.
Yeah, so that's it. That's an external light telling, you know, everybody around that you've got your seatbelt on.
So we'll show you guys what he's talking about. If you look in that garage door, way up there, you see the green light flashing right above my finger? That says the operator has his seatbelt on and he's going to be operating the piece of equipment. So if I take my seatbelt off, you see the green light stops flashing. So basically it says the machine's in go mode and there's a person in it getting ready to do something with it. So you should probably watch out. And I'm sure there's also backup alarms, etc. But let's get this thing moving. Get you guys back here. Hopefully you have a good view. It's kind of hard to tell if you have a good view or not. So we've got our seatbelt on now. We're gonna take the e-brake off. We're gonna put ourselves, it looks like we're in 4, so we're gonna...
But that's just automatic.
So it is automatic.
It's automatic.
So the one I have ran, you have to manually change it for it to...
This one's fully automatic.
All right, we're gonna look behind us, make sure there's nothing behind us.
And when you go in reverse, you'll see that camera come up there, so you have good full-on view.
Always check the brakes, see how touchy they are, so I don't throw him through the window since he's sitting next to me, right?
Appreciate that.
And this is an articulated machine, so it actually pivots in the center of the machine, opposed to most people are used to driving a vehicle. Vehicle front tires turn. Tires don't turn on this. So where would you like to go?
Yeah, if you want to just go around here, because we can show you, I'll just lift your bucket a little bit in case we don't bounce. So
okay.
if you go around here, we've set up speed zones. If you just travel over here and watch what happens to the machine when you come into a zone that we don't want you to go fast in because we have too many people around, or you know, you're too close to a building.
Okay.
So go faster. So go around that pile.
It automatically slows me down. Yep. So we were running 15 miles per hour, and now it's saying you're getting close to other things that are sitting along the fence. You've got a material pile in the center. We're only going to allow you to run 10 miles per hour. And I will say, the view in the cab, you can literally see everywhere. Obviously my mirrors up here are adjusted to see anything that falls in between the area here in front of us. I can see everywhere. I can see your face. Very, very good viewing. There's very minimal obstructions. And now it's allowing us to get back to full speed again.
Yes. If you want to go up, you can go up to the pile up here.
I'm assuming that's behind the golf cart there?
And over here, yes.
Okay.
There's a roundabout there.
This ramp here on the left?
Yep.
And we can pretty much play in any pile of material we want?
Absolutely, yes.
Except the flat spot, right?
Yeah.
Boy, that is touchy. Yeah, that sucker will flat dig, folks, let me tell you.
Now you can can see how much, you've probably got about 8-9 ton in the bucket. So if you want to go back out a pile of bits and then go in neutral, you can get a good view of how much weight. You can weigh what you have in there. Now raise it up to lock the weight in. You'll see when it gets up to about there. Keep going. You'll hear it beep when it's locked in the weight. Even more throttle if you want it. Yeah, 9.8 ton. That's quite good. Yeah.
Well, our first scoop was 9.8 ton, and what is it that the bucket is capable of holding?
Probably about 10 ton.
10 ton. So our goal is to always scoop 10 ton.
So we can customize the levers if they're too aggressive or not aggressive enough. We can customize that.
Okay.
To your ability.
So for me, what it feels like is pick up is pretty close. Lowering, it's fast. And I think that's why I got into the flat part that we made not so flat now. So let's try that again.
Get your bucket level, so slap that bucket back now and you can get it level. Back, sorry, yeah. Let it go. There you go. Now you're level. Yeah.
Now that claims that we're level.
Yeah.
Let's try to get 10 ton on this one. We're going to go to a different spot instead of the original spot. We're going to try to be a little more fluid with it. So what you want to do is a constant movement, right? Everybody wants to be efficient if you can. So if you can get into the pile, pull up, curl up, push in all at the same time, that's the goal. And see that? So that curl back feature is really fast. We're going to try that again. Take 2 on that. That was bad. That was a horrible try right there.
Slap the punch in it.
Oh yeah, I'm not used to that automatic feature. Boy, that's touchy. I think our first scoop was our best scoop.
Better anyhow.
Yeah. So the interesting part, everybody, is it's quick. It is very quick, and that was 5 ton basically is what that was.
Let's see if we went to personal settings here and we'll see what we have this normal set. Let's change it to soft.
So what he's doing, everybody, is he's getting into the options here.
Yeah. Select. Sorry, we're in here to setup, personal settings, and then I've gone down to the lever control and changed it to soft because it was in normal or active. So that kind of makes it less responsive. So you can customize this to basically operate a skill.
So what he's saying is my skill is horrible.
No.
Without saying it, he's saying my skill is horrible, which is fine because it is. I'm used to running, I think it's a 90s model wheel loader, and it has levers, and I'm pretty confident those levers are connected to cables. So it's a little bit more rigid than this machine. However, this machine, I'm assuming, is electric over hydraulic.
Correct, you are correct.
Which means it's going to be more responsive than what I'm used to, and the machine is very, very fast and agile. So we're going to get our feet wet here a little bit more, and we'll be back. All right, we think we have our feet wet now. Again, we've got this auto level feature where you pull the little joystick back, you'll hear a slight click. Drop the bucket on the ground. I think we got it. Oh, we lost a little bit. Let's see what we've got. $10.55.
Excellent.
And the bucket capacity is 10, right?
Yeah. So you've got a good fill factor.
So we've got a really good fill factor now. And one thing that we did change was the transmission was not going into first gear, so we weren't having the torque that we should have had once we were getting that bucket 3/4 of the way full. Now that we have it to where it is downshifting, it's very helpful. So what do you say we go get in a smaller machine now and see how it compares to the large machine?
Yep.
All right, we are going to get in an L90H now. As you guys remember, this one here had the two little, not necessarily joysticks, but levers for your fingertips. This one here has a joystick, so we're gonna see which one we like better. And this time we've got Chris, right?
How's it going?
Excellent. So tell us about this machine, Chris. What are the specifics on this one?
So this is our L90. This is our 3.5 yard wheel loader. Basically an all-purpose machine, utility work, specialized work, logging, you name it. This is kind of like your all-around Swiss Army knife for the job.
Gotcha. So this machine here could flip this machine over.
Yep, this machine's higher production. This machine's more or less a do-it-all.
Gotcha. This is mass quantity, and this is maybe a little more meticulous.
Yes,
all right, let's hop in this thing and see how it goes.
All right, man.
All right, so first things first, the seat belt.
Yep.
Again, as mentioned, this machine here has a joystick, whereas that machine had the levers. Pedals are the same, steering wheel's the same.
Cab's more or less the same on all the machines.
You know, we've got all the same auxiliary switches, and now we're going to see the nimbleness of a smaller machine versus the bulkiness of that great big machine. So we're going to go scoop some more gravel, but I want you guys to kind of get a view of the joystick as we're starting off here. And this is, you know, just like any other joystick. Typically right is dump, left is curl, back is up, forward or down is down. Wow, that thing's quick.
Yep.
That thing.
So
is
on the
really
front of your
quick.
joystick also you have your first gear kick down for when you're trying to penetrate the pile, so that'll run the machine down.
So you
to first
push and
gear.
hold, or you push and release?
It's momentary, so you just push it once and that'll bring it down to first gear, provided you're going slow enough. Now if you're doing 20 miles an hour, it will not engage to protect the machine.
Okay. Well, does this one also have the, when we're going around in your guys' training facility here, it's going to slow the speed down?
I don't have it connected, but you will get audible warnings. So the map's running right here.
Okay.
You can see me as a person. I have the app running on my phone right now that'll identify me on the site, and then the machine is also, I'm signed in under my name on the machine as well.
Gotcha.
So once we get further away, I mean, I can't even turn mine off to kind of.
Well, let's go over to the rock pile, and we'll go to the back side of the pile.
Yep.
Check our surroundings. We don't have any obstructions, nobody behind us. So we'll take the parking brake off, we'll throw it in reverse. We've got our bucket off the ground already. We do have a human behind us. The camera is telling me that.
Yep, so the machine is equipped with radar.
Okay.
So it will identify objects. So when you get the green line, it's letting you know something's kind of nearby. If it turns yellow, it's relatively close, say like 12 meters away.
Okay.
And then red, you're like 5 meters away, and then it'll start beeping like an automobile does, like park assist.
Yeah.
It'll start beeping high pitch until you're like
now
dead
will
tunnel
it
on
automatically brake like the big machine did?
Not on this size machine yet. On 110 and up, our collision mitigation system will be available. So, so we do have to do a little bit more work on these to get that functionality, but it is coming.
And again, everybody, this is an articulated machine. The wheels don't turn. The center of the machine pivots. And we're going to go to a different section of the pile than I screwed up with the big machine. Maybe we'll go around to the back side. Thank you. Yeah. It is rather warm in here. They definitely made sure that we were going to be comfortable.
I think the cold weather scared us.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get the first scoop of rock with you guys watching the joystick, and we'll get the second scoop or maybe more. So the button is on the back side. We're gonna lower our bucket and then push the button so we go into first gear. Now, does this one have the ability to tell us how big our load is?
So put it back into neutral.
Okay.
Start lifting. Just under 10,000.
So we've got,
keep going up until it beeps into the lock. There you go.
We've got 9,900 pounds, and what's the bucket capacity?
So it's a 4.1 yard bucket.
So basically 8,200 pounds or 8,400 pounds is what it's rated for, and we've got 9,900 pounds. So I call that pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Well.
That's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you, the joystick maybe is a little more user-friendly than the levers that's on the big machine. I feel like I can kind of feather it a little bit more than what I was able to do with the fingers, because you can multi-function the joystick.
Yep. We still have adjustability.
You're kind of not used to multi-functioning your fingers,
yeah.
Right? Unless you're a guitar player. All right, so we're gonna turn you guys around and get you a view of getting a good old scoop of rock with the bucket. Texting and driving over here. All right, so here's our dense material in front of us. And what we're gonna do in this trial is we're going to scoop that material and we're gonna transfer it over there into that wall section so we can kind of get a feel for how the machine travels with a load. I tell you, it's got the power. It's definitely more difficult to penetrate that dense material. I bet you we got a whole lot of weight on that one.
Yeah.
It's also really wet. Let's check our weight, just for you guys.
Oh yeah.
14,800 pounds. Again, there's a lot of moisture in that, and it's a lot of fine material. But now let's go over here and see how well it travels across the lot. Yes, we are in a flat lot. We don't have a lot of humps and bumps and nasty stuff to cross over, but oh, it's smooth with a load.
Yeah.
Doesn't even feel as though there's a 14,800 pound load in that bucket. Now we have it on soft steel, so when you go to dump, typically you want that to be a little bit faster. Now let's see if, since we do have it on soft, can we blend this into the rest of the pile. That wasn't too bad.
No.
I tell you, it's a smooth machine. Are we out of time, Chris?
We're getting there. I think one other thing I definitely would like to mention is that onboard weighing, the scale system on this size machine is going to be new for us. So
okay.
Real important. Same scale system as we use on the large machines. We call it our load assist onboard weighing.
Okay.
So that will now be available on the L90, L70, and L60. So all medium models now will have onboard weighing either as an option or standard. It will be standard on the L90 and up. So good news.
That is good news. That allows the operator to be more in tune with what they're moving, and I think that's always a good thing. You know the goal here, right?
Yep.
Do we beat 8:14.8? I don't think we did. I've got some corners that are empty there.
Yeah. That little bit of frost, I think, is the problem on the top.
Ooh, 14.6. 200 pounds less, but we did do it quicker.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not always about the weight. Sometimes it's also about the efficiency factor. And it all, again, it depends on the application of what you're trying to do. If you're moving bulk, obviously this is not the machine you're going to choose. But if you've got a smaller job site and you do need to move bulk, this thing here is definitely a person would feel more secure and able to get into some tight spots with this one versus the larger one, which is kind of a common thing.
Like feeding pipe work, something like that, perfect size machine.
Yeah, putting rock over top of pipes, that would definitely work out pretty well. So we're gonna switch this thing to active mode, which is maybe, Chris, the fastest setting that it has, maybe?
Yep. So we'll go into our setup key, personal settings, we'll hit select, then we'll run upwards till we get to our lever control, hit select, and then we'll run up to active. This is the quickest response out of the levers.
So remember, everybody, we were on normal first, and then we basically went to slow.
Yep.
And now we're going to fast. And this is liable to completely screw us up, and we won't end up with hardly any rock in our bucket. But let's see how this goes. And yes, this is the only view I can get you guys because they do all this fancy cab work and cover all the metal up, and I need magnets. Or I mean, I need metal so I can stick a magnet to it. All right, let's see. Oh yes, that is definitely faster, and I'm not even throttled up yet. Let's see how this goes. We're gonna go back to the lighter, less fine material. We were at 9.8 the last time, right? Yes. I don't know, that actually might have been better.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost 50 pounds right there. What are you doing? All right, let's see what we got. All right. 10,050. Maybe slow isn't always better. A lot of people, you know, think slow is good. I think there's a happy medium, and boy, I really like that whenever you're trying to dump that rock back out.
Yep. It definitely comes back to the harmony I was talking about. Matching the speed going into the pile with the speed of your hydraulics. If they're both on point, you're gonna have a good bucket load every time.
Now, can we transfer this rock to that pile or not?
Two different types.
Okay, so we're gonna transfer this rock to the other end of the pile. That's what I was thinking. That was a good one there. See what that one weighs, and then we'll go to the other end of the pile. That's the biggest one yet of the less fine material. That was 10,150. Again, the bucket supposedly is capable of 8,200.
No, it's definitely it's our rehandling bucket, so the curved side plates, the longer floor, that allows you to definitely heap material on and
kind of get that heap going, right? Because see, we're not losing any rock either. If you guys can tell there, we don't have any rock that's falling out of the edges. Yeah, again, we're on a flat site, but now we're going to see. I think it was me that messed up that pile. We're going to see if we can make it pretty again. See what the finesse in active is. Oh, that's nice. That's actually really smooth for being the fastest setting. You guys can see there next to the bucket how I'm smoothing and kind of ensuring that we don't have that hole on the backside. And sometimes whenever you're working with dirt, if you have a hole on the backside, it just holds water, and then you end up with a great big wet pile of mud, and that's not what you want. Not that this is what you would ever do with rock, but we're just playing with the machine here, so. Oh yeah. I think that might be my favorite setting yet.
Yeah.
I did create a hole here. I dug a little too deep at the very first start there, but that smoothed it out really nicely. All right, we'll do one more for you guys. Transfer it to the other side, fill our hole in, and then we'll probably call it quits on this machine. And that first gear button definitely is a very, very helpful button whenever you're penetrating deep like that right there. If I wasn't hitting that button, we would not get that much rock in it.
We'd definitely be struggling.
Correct. All right, we got to check our weight again. Last one was 10,150.
Wow.
10,6. All right, that's new record. For me, anyway. That's a good load. Let's transfer it to the other side, fill in our hole. And you guys are going to see a little bit of spillage on that right corner because it is definitely
maxed on that
heaped
side.
up. There is no room for another pebble. Boy, it hauls 10,6 just fine too. Which I guess it should since we hauled 14.3, wasn't it?
Yep. Definitely goes to the setup of the machine. We have the wider tires on here, the metric tires. They create more stability side to side, but also they're heavier, so it gives you a little bit extra counterweight. And then also having the right counterweight on the rear of the machine to do something like this is important.
We got rid of our hole, Chris.
Nice.
Yep, active setting is definitely the best. It allows for a quicker return. Now, does this machine have a within the joystick the ability to push it to a certain point of auto level?
Yep. So
let's show them that. So you guys keep seeing the bucket kind of. I'll bring it down. I'll bring it a little bit past, and then right before I go into the pile, you'll see me tip down. The reason for that is I want to get that material started up in that bucket. I don't like to hold the bucket perfectly level, but that flat edge on this bucket is the same as that big machine over there.
Yes.
That aligns you with the bottom cutting edge,
all
right?
Of our all the Volvo buckets, the top, top plane is parallel to your cutting edge.
And not all machines are that way with their buckets.
No, not all bucket manufacturers, so other aftermarket, so it's...
So coming from a person who, again, does not run wheel loaders all the time, but coming from someone who runs a tractor, top's aligned with the bottom, you get in one that doesn't have that alignment, it throws you for a loop, and it's you dig really big holes.
You can.
Or you get no material at all.
And everything's going electric, like electric over hydraulics, so you don't have the meters or the gauges anymore like the old machines used to have.
Exactly. So like on my tractor, it's got a round rod.
Yep.
And as your bucket comes up, you get the tip of the rod to the end of the tube, and now you're level, or you go off of that flat spot. But you do say that this has an auto return to level,
yep. So
right?
if you tip the, if you dump the bucket.
Okay. Let's make sure we're not going to gouge the ground here.
All right, they can stop there.
Okay.
Now shock the lever inward. Yep.
Look at that. Now that's going to send you to exact level, and as you lower, that bucket automatically ensures you're still level. So when I put it all the way down, that should be flat on the ground.
Yep, absolutely. And then we can also level from the carry position as well. So if you had the bucket racked back,
okay,
you could do the opposite, rack the lever outwards, and it would level forward. So if you're transporting or using like a tip out bucket, a roll out bucket, or something like that that doesn't dump traditionally, and you need to still level it, you can use that the level out to level the bucket that way as well.
Well, I think that's going to conclude the wheel loaders. We greatly appreciate your guys' expertise.
109,000, man. You moved some.
109,000, and we had what, 20 minutes?
It's pretty good, man.
That's not too bad.
Nope. Perfect.
All right, so we got to play with a big one and we got to play with a small one. And again, guys, you can get the joystick in any of the machines, or you can get the lever controls in any of the machines. I prefer the joystick, but all in all, machines are very smooth, machines are very quick, machines are very responsive. I really, really, really like the Volvo wheel loaders. Obviously, this is the only new wheel loader I've ever ran, so maybe that synopsis is a little biased. However, I appreciate Volvo letting me run this equipment, trusting me to not break anything. Hopefully you guys like the video, and as always, like, comment, subscribe.